Most people believe power is loud. They believe the person who speaks the most, the person who dominates the conversation, the person who constantly explains themselves, is the strongest person in the room. But in psychology, reveals something very different. In reality, the most dangerous person in the room is usually the quiet one. Think about it. When someone talks too much, they reveal everything. Their opinions, their emotions, their insecurities. Every sentence they speak gives away information, and information is power. The more you reveal about yourself, the easier it becomes for people to predict you, to manipulate you, to control the situation. But the silent person plays a completely different game. They observe. While everyone else is busy trying to impress the room, the quiet person is watching everything. They notice the small details. Who interrupts others? Who seeks validation? Who becomes emotional during pressure? These tiny signals reveal something powerful: human nature. Psychologists often call this behavioral observation. It's the ability to understand people not by what they say, but by how they behave. And the silent person has the biggest advantage here, because silence creates distance. When you talk less, you create space to think. You create space to analyze. You create space to understand the real dynamics in the room. But there's another reason silence is powerful, and most people never realize it. Silence makes people uncomfortable. When a conversation suddenly becomes quiet, something strange happens psychologically. People feel pressure. They feel the need to fill the silence. So they start talking and talking and talking. They reveal information they never intended to share. Their frustrations, their doubts, their real intentions. The silent person doesn't need to ask questions. People reveal themselves naturally. This is why silence is often used as a psychological strategy in negotiations. Experienced negotiators know that the person who speaks first often loses leverage, because every word reveals information. And once information is revealed, the balance of power changes. But the power of silence goes even deeper. Silence creates mystery, and mystery increases perceived value. Think about it. When someone constantly talks, you quickly understand everything about them. But when someone speaks carefully, and only when necessary, people start paying closer attention. Every word carries more weight. Every sentence feels intentional. And suddenly, the quiet person appears more confident, more composed, more powerful. This isn't accidental. Psychology shows that people associate calmness with control. When someone remains calm while others become emotional, the brain interprets this as strength, because emotional reactions signal vulnerability, but calm silence signals stability. This is why emotionally intelligent people rarely react immediately. Instead, they pause. They observe the situation. They think before responding. And that pause changes everything. It gives them time to choose the right response. Instead of reacting impulsively, they respond strategically. Over time, people start noticing this difference. They realize something about the quiet person.
They are not silent because they have nothing to say. They are silent because they are thinking, and thinking creates power. But here's the most important truth. Silence alone is not power. Intentional silence is. There's a difference between being quiet because you are insecure and being quiet because you are observant. The first comes from fear. The second comes from awareness. Powerful silence is calm, confident, controlled. It isn't about avoiding conversation. It's about speaking with purpose. Because when someone who usually stays quiet finally speaks, people listen. Not because they are loud, but because they have already proven they only speak when it matters. And in a world where everyone is competing for attention, the rare person who controls their words controls the room. That's the true power of silence.